Hello everybody, and welcome to another 10-minute Marvel, where we are going to be tackling Lands of Galzyr again. Next week will be the last time braving these lands, and we can see how well or poorly Bumir has managed to do in the end. Now, this isn't actually a campaign game, so there's like nothing that builds up over time. Be like, oh yeah, this is how well you did. I'm just deciding, after 10 plays, that seems like enough. It also helps with my 10 by 10 challenge, playing 10 games 10 times. So might as well finish that out. And a chance for people who maybe didn't catch the first ones live to catch some of these, see a little bit more of the story, and really you can always hop in and watch any of these in any order, because while it is story heavy, it isn't a campaign. Some scotch tonight. Let's get down to the table. So we're in April. I failed to flip this again. My bad. I just realized that. And I mean, the big thing is aesthetics. If I really want, I can flip the towns. But it's more summery now. It won't make sense. So we'll just keep them flipped this way. And where do I want to head off to? Because I only have one thing into Shun. We can stop by Serwar on the way, probably. That's going to be my plan. And we're in a forest. Though it is a Wednesday, so that beats forest. How could you like such a boring game? A leopard cries nearby, throwing her paws into the air. Who could find a game about peeling apples enjoyable? She is addressing a spiny mouse who is passing gold to a cart pushing Akbash merchant. What is an Akbash? Doesn't help me. We know what a leopard is. And a moose. A mouse. It's nice, simple, and easy to teach, he offers after purchasing the game. Leopard buys a different game from the tender and proudly presents it to her friend. Now this is a game, the ultimate tactical battle with nicely decorated cards and tons of carved pieces. The two devolve into an argument about preferences, but stop when they catch you staring at them. Wanting a third opinion, they ask what kind of game you like. They don't have game, unfortunately. So, no to that one. I'm a tactical man. The leopard throws her head back and laughs. See, the better gaming experience is the more interesting one. The mouse wrinkles his nose and coughs. Well, she's Jira, I'm Fink. Want to play some games with us? Before you manage to reply, the duo sets up one of the games they have purchased. Fink reads the rulebook and informs you how to play. Jira sets up the pieces and asks you to choose which one to play. Ooh, cheat. I'm not a cheater. I mean, sometimes I do cheat in solo games. But only for the sake of story. So, outwit and cheat are not words that I have. So, this is where What have you gotten yourself into? You assume that you could at least put up a challenge, if not beat the leopard and mouse, but you are a little beyond a speed bump to their victory. Your moves are so clumsy and shallow that the two of them outplay you every turn. Together, they smell your weakness and eliminate your pieces after the first couple of turns. Withdrawing sans your dignity, you thank the two for the game. Return 80 to the library. Fortunately, I'm better at this game. And 253. All right. Let's see what will happen next. Honestly, it won't be that interesting. I'm going to advance the day to Thursday. Once I end the scene here, I'm not even going to take you to the table because I'm moving 2 spaces ahead and just in a forest. But soon, I'll be in Sarwar, and then there'll be more to do. It's 288 available. 487. Yes, it is. In the woods, surprisingly, you find a pit by the side of the roads. A kakapo in traveling gear is scolding a group of intimidated moles. You introduce yourself to the agitated bird, and she does likewise. Kaihurangi, there we go. As an explorer and mapper of the landscape, I've paid the Grand Mole Efforts Labor Group to explore this tunnel into the earth, but they refuse to work. Feeling judgmental eyes on them, the mole site boss explains. The pit is the home of a boar dragon, or boar dagon. To go inside is to be devoured. She refuses to endanger her team. The kakapo rubs her forehead and stresses. A mythical snake beast has ruined my expedition. She grumbles about how she wishes there was some way to reach down into the pit. I do not have duelist. Climb, force, or encourage. Well, I don't have anything for climb. Don't have anything for force, but force is easier. So let's see what we roll here. 4 books and an eye. 0. So we now have Kirigari traveling with us, which I'll show in a second here. She helps with unlock and explore, as well as explore and night vision. But in giving the closest tree a good what for, you hit it. It falls over, but on top of you. Trapped underneath this immovable weight, you cry out for help. The mole site boss laughs along with her crew and inquires if you have gold. We're contractors. We don't do anything for free if we help. With some begging and negotiation, the crew saves you from the wooden prison you intentionally created. The kakapo looks you over. Are you all right? With it evident that you are alive, she pats you on the back. Well, you tried to help, which is more than I can say for these moles. Since I have nothing better to do now that my small expedition has come to an end, I'll join you for a while. I would lose 3 gold. I have none. Rolls have not started out too hot tonight. So, we're going to go to Serwar. And end our turn there, picking up a quest that is down in Hizembi. And load up another quest here. Let me show off the table. So we're up here now. And we have another quest down in Arn. So, the new quest we picked up. The fighting arena in Rheinstum has murdered and maimed countless folks. Anyone sharing our views is welcome to join our protest to end this barbaric practice. That's down in Hizembi. I can meet up with some folks to do that. We're on Friday now. I moved 2 spaces, so I can do something in Serwar. I don't have any money. Let's go to the city park. Wrong one. Entering into a well-maintained park, you take a look at everything going on today. Musicians of different calibers play tunes to the enjoyment of anyone within earshot of them. Families engage in outdoor activities. The groundskeepers keep tidy the place. Today, also, 2 attractions vie for the attendance of those in the park. First is the game of shifting shades, with prizes being offered. Awara Fox tells folks whoever can find the most chameleons hiding throughout the park will win big. Secondary attraction is a fortune teller's tent with a high quality cloth. A line of more true believing folks, pangolins, rabbits, and hares wait their turns. So, I do have music. I could search for chameleons, but that would be very tricky for me to do. I have 1. You head over to the group and produce a musical instrument. After giving it a check and waiting for the right time to join in, you play along with the group. Your companion is hit by the music and asks to join in, borrowing your instrument. You allow it and they take your place. They're not just good, they're amazing at it. Maybe even better than you. Ooh, technically it was that one. Pairs, so there we go. Many of the folks who stop to listen to the band are drawn to your companion after the music stops. They fawn over them about how musically talented they are. With all the attention washed over them, your companion sheepishly asks what you think about them going off and starting their own music career. Huh. I honestly do not know for this one. Because part of me is like, I want to see what happens when I encourage them. I could just say, stay, and they would. Musical menagerie. I was not expecting to get a little achievement. Well, let's see what becomes of that. You give your support to your friend. They play an encore song dedicated to you about how you're Daimiria's greatest adventurer. Their song reminds you about your dreams and fuels you with a need to continue your adventure. From playing today, the band gave you gold and items that onlookers donated to the musicians. Those listeners still hanging around to ask you and your companions autographs. You even hear talk about starting a fan club. Well, I've already had one fan club. That worked okay. So 5 gold. I lose ahead of time here. Kirangi. And I lose my Macarena. That was kind of worth it, though I gained no prestige for that. What was tossed in for those musicians? A gift voucher. Yeah, I'm just going to discard the gift voucher, which would allow me to take any item, but I tend to get items from doing stuff, so I'm just going to get 10. 10 money instead, basically is what it turns into. Finally gain a prestige. $62. I am determined, resolute. Alright. After all the excitement of today, you reflect on how you became an adventurer, and how everyone has their own path, and how they chase their dreams in their own ways. You'll definitely want to reach yours one day. You just know it. And we add 265. So I would put money on this one, all kind of leading towards stories about the person we set up on their musical career. The scene ends. We advance. Well, we should have been on Friday. So we advance to Saturday now. Kind of cruising along here today. Not too many involved missions so far. But, let's see. Fastest route to something. I have a mission in Tashun and a mission in Hazembe. They're equidistant. Let's go through the mountains on Saturday. And 165. Is 282 still available? I would guess yes. It is not. Measure of worry sets in. Oh, bones. So this is a family of vultures who are basically having a feast on bone marrow by picking stuff up and chucking it. And we now have a powder keg as well. That'll be interesting. Sunday. I have made it to Tashun. Technically there. And now I have my first quest. Bending River. Salutations. I seek a student worthy enough to learn the secret fighting style I have invented, the Bending River style. If you wish to learn, come to the banks of the Namal River near Tashun, for we must collect something first to begin this journey. Nuroko, the Emperor Tamarin, martial arts master. Let's meet Nuroko. Salutations! The martial arts master yells when you arrive at Tishun's outer wall. Without a further word, the elderly Emperor Tamarin takes you into the woods until you reach a clearing with a wagon. Folks are buying drinks from it as a pair of snapping turtles are inside working pots and levers. A secret mobile brewery that makes the finest illegal drinks in the land. Should have a little bit of my illegal drink. The Tamarin chuckles softly, and we need to get our hands on a bottle of their finest drink in order for me to show you my moves. When you ask Noroko if you could just buy some, he frowns. You could, but the Bending River style is about cleverness and improvisation. You should rely on your cunning more than your coins. Do you have Actor? No. Sneak, convince, or just buy. Oh, we're going to sneak. We believe in this system. We have bought in wholeheartedly. And we managed to, I'm going to spend the Determined to get a third one. Let's see what we get. Doing your best to remain quiet, you creep around the wagon's side. Reaching through the open window, you nab a bottle of the fine brew. All is going well until you turn to escape and step on a twig that loudly cracks. Ach! Who's that? The turtle fumes after catching a glimpse of you. Give that back! Ignoring the turtle's command, you run off into the foliage where you left Noroko. He joins you in flight, and you outpace the slower pair of turtles behind you. Once you are a distance away, Noroko considers your approach to the situation clumsy, but you still might hold potential. Come. We will go to my dojo. The Tamarin takes you to a small building hidden nearby. Inside, a matted room. He takes the expensive liquor and guzzles half down before getting you to finish it off. Now watch closely and listen. Noroko slips, twists, and bends while telling you how this fighting style is all about flowing away from harm. We do not have training. Implement or observe. Either way, it's hard. But we managed 3 for implementing. I realize we might manage more. We managed 3 for implementing. Taking on the teachings, Noroko preaches while moving about. You feel that you have a solid grasp on them. Do you know? The old monkey muses with a warm hum. Then show me what you have learned. Translating the lessons into locomotions, you move in the ways he demonstrated and taught, completing a set of positions he showed. Your mentor smiles and commands you to stop. You're an excellent student. You have done well, or you have done the forms well, and pleased me greatly. You have earned this reward for your prowess. So we go up by 2. We vault that quest. It passes you an item, but it isn't the title of martial arts master you hoped for. The Tamarin has spoken highly of you and your skill, but you still feel empty inside. So 23. Strong wine. Nah, we're not going to bother taking it. And then 58. 58 is probably me being slightly sad, disheartened, worried, and weary. Get rid of it on the last day. Could have gone better. So we advance to Monday. Could have been worse. So, last day will go away. We're on Monday now. That one is gone. I'm going to grab the other one from Tashun. It's another one in Arn. Let's see where our newest quest is. Maratu. So completed Tashun. Let's continue on to Hazembi. I can at least complete part of another quest there. This has not been nearly as prestigious. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 5. I realized I was not moving the hot air balloon, as you can tell. So, in the hills, it's not a Thursday. No settlement, just a port. Let's see what we have. On a winding road through hilly terrain, your path forks divided by a sign, handwritten in sloppy white paint with an arrow. The sign claims that help is needed to fix a well, and a hot meal will be given as a salary for the work. The sign also points in the same direction that a farm is at the end of the road. Well, we'll visit the farm. Heading down the road, you know you are growing closer when you see fields of grazing livestock and rows of crops. At the end of the road is a manor, with a polecat out in front looking at a topless well. Introducing himself, the polecat's smile widens as you confirm you're here to help with the well. It is missing its covering and pulley. Peering down into the dark depths of the well, you can see the whole broken upper structure lodged to the well's sides. A rope is tied to a fallen pulley is held by the polecat. Been trying to haul the thing back up here. When it got stuck, my cousin was brave enough to climb down there, but he slipped and fell in the water. He's in bed resting now from the cold he got. We do not have light or night vision. We're going to climb. We got 3. 3 isn't too bad. I mean, it's going to succeed, unless there's something weird, but just kind of normally. Well, we have so much money now. As I was saying, we clearly need money. Hardening your heart, you climb down into the cold darkness below and reach the jammed pulley. Beating on it, it gives and falls free, but takes you with it. Frigid water rushes into your throat as you plummet down and struggle back to the surface for air. Holding onto the pulley and keeping it from catching on anything, the polecat pulls both you up to the ground. Here, Let me get a warm meal in you for your troubles, the polecat says. He gives you a delicious dish and some gold, but the chill has set into you. 56 and 59. So I am guessing that one of those is going to be a nice. That's a 58. Not useful. This situation. 59. Vigorous. Can use for +1 movement. And 56. 3 days, so I'm not even going to put a marker on it. Freezing. Oh, the number. We need to find warm if we can. Because we'll be rolling 2 less dice. No, it's definitely not worth it. We advance. And let's see where we get here in Hazembe. So I'm going to grab. I need a trustworthy courier for a simple message. Or for a simple delivery. Contact me if you recognize yourself. Redivus, the steep polecat. That is in Maratu. Alright. So I do still have a quest here. Rheinstamm has been the pinnacle of cultural advancement, but has clung to some violent traditions. These outdated means of entertainment must be replaced with more civilized events. We need help earning the support of Rhenian City Council, which takes regular cruises from Hazembe to Rheinstamm. Oh yeah. Almost forgot. That's there now. Vekniel, a carpet chameleon activist. Let's see what we have. At Hazembe's docks, you meet Vekniel, the carpet chameleon. He might be wearing a fake mustache. Help at last. We board the cruise ship over there, and before its voyage ends, sway the ruling families to replace the fights in the arena with sports. Board the cruise ship. You board the luxury cruise ship with Vekniel and some other advocates. Remove ourselves from the board. We're going to end up in Rheinstamm. Interesting. Which reminds me, I need to get another quest out here quick. This one in Chavar. After leaving port, a social dinner is held in the buffet room. The rich and powerful mingle with the members of the Rhenian ruling family is present. Maimed gladiators tell horror stories of a life in the arena to all who pass. Their unwilling listeners ignore them. Vekniel analyzes the situation as he plays with his mustache. The crowd is too busy schmoozing. We need to get their attention. I'm worried, cold, and weary, but I am not restless. I am restless, never mind. Yay, vigorous. You have so much built up energy, you feel like you have to get out there and start dancing or you will die. We will dance. And we will dance. Dance fever has taken a hold of our soul. Bumir, cutting the rug. In the most epic ways possible. There's no way to contain this much energy. You unleash the beast and break out into a manic dance. You boogie without restraint, drawing all eyes. You earn the praise and adoration of the room. The more folks who cheer you on, the faster you dance. Everyone in the room has been put in a good mood, and you soundly have their attention. Someone tosses you a few coins for dancing like a freak. With all the excess energy out of your system, you give a winded bow. Well, I'm up to $15 now. From 0 at the start of this. Return Restless. Fortunately, that one is a good one. I wish there had been Restless on one of the negative cards. We continue. With folks ready to listen, you introduce Vecniel. He gives a passionate speech and shows off the maimed gladiators he brought on board. The crowd is moved, but aware of the profits the arena brings in. Vecniel suggests a few sports that could replace it. What about a playground? A white-headed lemur offers. Others agree that might be an even better use of the space. Vecniel plays with his mustache and analyzes the room. Folks are split on the choice. We need to win them over. I'm going to support the sports arena. It's money. You decide to stick with the plan of converting the fighting arena to host regular sports. The ruling families don't embrace the idea of the sports center immediately. I don't have elite. I have populace. Their noses turn by the loss of profits from their arena. That's why I went with this one. With a sudden shove, Vecniel pushes you at the council members. This is your chance. Win them over. I am not elite, unfortunately. Recall. Or beg. I don't think I really have anything that helps with either. So let us recall. Surprisingly good roll, considering I'm not that great at it. We are at 3. Oh, I was hoping to hit the top level. You recall negative facts around the blood games. The casual glorification of death and suffering these games cause are not the ideals cherished by a responsible society. Your audience digests what you have told them. The powerful folk of Rheinstrom concur to end the fighting games and will replace them with much safer sports. After the ship docks, the injured ex-arena fighters give 3 resounding cheers into the sky. Vecniel laughs with them. Now the needless violence will stop. We Rhenians can still get our excitement. It's everything we wanted. Yes, I am so excited for this part. I gained 2 prestige. I want 2 prestige. We're in Rheinstrom now. This goes back in the library, which to me it's odd that you could potentially get this again. Maybe there's no way actually. Return location card 11, also known as number 76. We're making changes to the board. The library. 238 and 203. So we actually just get to take a quest. Place to play. It's in Rheinstrom. We are, in fact, in Rheinstrom. And then 238. It's going to be a new map piece. Swaps out the one for a sports venue. So we end the scene, advance the day. This will be our last day to do anything. So as we advance, we lose our disheartened. Maybe actually I only should have had 2 that last time. That was enough either way. And, I mean, we're in Rheinstamm. Might as well do the quest we have here. Place to play. We have a group of volunteers who have lined up the meetings with the Rheinstamm City Council in hopes of improving the usage of the sports center. Meet my dear friends Lainey and Velmo at the archives. Try to find something we can use to make the arena a place appropriate for everyone of all ages. Huh. We're not turning it into a park. I don't care. While not as grand as Arhen's famous library, the archive here in Rheinstamm is still a breathtaking institution. At its front steps, you trade introductions with a lyrebird, and the emperor-spotted newt, Lanny and Velmo, respectively. Lanny pulls you into a tight hug. We're so excited to have your support. We want to transform the sports-only venue into a place for everyone. A playground, games, benches, and public tables. No. All right. We have to find some legal precedent for the request, Velmo stresses. The two lead you inside a musty basement that reminds you of a dungeon. A vulture librarian tells your group you have an hour to look through the old legal archives. I do have Populus. Give the librarian the note. I might as well use it. I don't know when it would come up again. You give the note to the librarian and tell her that after helping others, you could be useful yourself. She is touched by your selfless act. You tell her what you need, and she takes you to one shelf and pulls out a book. It is a paw-written account from one of the city's founders. The document states that all citizens should be able to benefit from public spaces. Oddly, in the diary, are lockpicks tucked away between the pages. You could take them if you wanted to. No. I'm going to stay where we're at on the skill set. When you reach the council building, a sickly red-footed tortoise asks to borrow you for a moment. He tells you that he is a former gladiator. If you speak to the councilors, get them to open the arenas again. We fighters, once famous, are homeless and forgotten. So no matter what, somebody is not going to be happy. You head inside and consider his words. We're going to support. We demand to see the councilors. Lanny booms to a macaw secretary. The macaw rolls her eyes. The councilors are in a meeting. You'll have to wait till they are done. She writes your info on a note and puts it on the bottom of the pile. Take a seat across the room and wait to be called. I do not have elite anymore. Sneak or lie. I'm so bad at all these skills. So, we are going to sneak. And I realize I have been rolling wrong also for my frigid. Fortunately, I had 2 dice that had it on 2 sides, and both of those came up millhouse. While the macaw is distracted, you slink up to her desk. Working silently, you slip your note from the bottom to somewhere near the top. Without being caught, you snake back to your seat and act like nothing happened. After a few groups come and go, you are called in. You give an address to a member from each of the ruling families about turning the arena into a playground. The counselors rule that the sports arena will be restructured into a general space for all. We did it! The two volunteers cheer, hugging each other. Lanny pulls you into a hug. Thank you for making Reinstrom a better place for all. Velmo smiles. I can't wait to see my children play the new area. 2 prestige. 203 back in the library. That was a whirlwind of events. That now swaps with 239. Like I said, a whirlwind of events. It's now a park. And 204 comes to me as a quest. Let me guess, this is going to return it back to a fighting arena. Yeah. Show of... Can you just loop that forever? Because it returns it to the library. That is weird. It seems like a bad infinite loop. Oh, to the back of the quest slot. I completely failed at reading that the first time. Well, whatever. We end the scene. We advance to Thursday. And put our freezing back in there. Freezing, by the way, is maybe the worst thing you can have happen to you. So we advance to Thursday. Advance up here. 200. One adventurer. We are not isolated. Let's throw a party. We have 7 to 8. Ooh, get a 62. So there are some advantages to spending that 5. We are determined. Plus, I got so much gold that time. Like, might as well. Everyone recognizes you as you strut into the bar. They cheer and marvel at seeing someone so famous. You buy a few rounds of drinks for the patrons, who all swarm around you in adoration. With a single command, you unleash a party that consumes the whole building. You regale a captivated audience with tales of your most daring exploits through the next day. Then is consumed by the party. Folks say how it's the biggest celebration so far this April. One partygoer is a legless, blind Asian forest tortoise who dances in her wheelchair and drives laps around the floor. Nothing in this land can stop you from having fun or achieving your dreams. She laughs whenever your jaw drops. How would she know she's blind? Her words have you feeling more determined than ever to get back to adventuring and showing the world what you're made of. Continue. You are famous. End the game. No. We saved. We're good. Either way, we're good because it's easy when you just leave everything set up. With that, thank you so much for watching and hanging out. Hopefully this is a fun time. You can see I do speed through a few things from time to time, like the ending or like some of the quest adventures that you get just on the road. So there is that element of the game, but hopefully you got a good feel for how this game plays and if it's going to be a game that you want to check out. With that, thank you so much for watching. If you want to support this channel, subscribing, leaving comments, thumbs up, all of those things help the videos show up for more people to check out. And as for when I go live, every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Central. So next Wednesday, I'm going to be wrapping up my plays of Lands of Galzyr. And, well, figuring out what game I want to play next. Mondays tends to be 8:30 p.m. Central Time, and I talk about the games. I play random games, so generally smaller solo games, things like that. But next Monday, it might be a case next Monday, or maybe it will be the following Monday. I'm going to pull out a few different campaign games and give kind of a pitch for them. Easiest way to know when I go live, though, is subscribing and clicking that notification bell. If you want to find out more content that I do, you can check out nerdologists.com, where I'm writing articles daily, as well as then the 10-Minute Marvel podcast that I do. If you enjoy Marvel stuff, it's a great way to keep up to date on Marvel news in a fairly digestible format. It's now half an hour or less. I have a co-host. It used to be 10 minutes or less, but you will get the news within the first 10 minutes for sure. With that, bottoms up.